can resist that wonderful smell and taste of bread fresh from the oven? It's been a staple of life for thousands of years. But where does it come from? In a simple statement, it comes from a cereal crop, such as oats or wheat. The seeds of the crop are harvested, ground into flour, a few other ingredients are added, and the mixture is baked in an oven. Harvest is the cutting and the gathering of the grain from the fields. Today, the farmer takes his combine to the ripe grain, cuts it, and separates the grain or the seeds from the chaff and straw. But that was not the case many years ago. The sickle was used to cut our grain. For thousands of years, the cutting and gathering of our crops was done by the sickle, a simple device with a handle and a curved cutting blade. And even today, people in many countries still use the sickle to harvest their grain. After the straw was cut, the bundles of grain, or sheaves, were gathered. Then the workers would stack the sheaves into shocks and let the sheaves dry for several days. Then the shocks of grain would be brought into the barn and flailed to separate the seed from the straw. The seed was now ready to be ground into flour for baking pastry and breads. The invention of the scythe during the Middle Ages gave a tremendous boost to farm productivity. With the long curved steel blade and long wooden handle, a man could stand up and cut twice as much in a day than with the hand sickle. It's thought that an inventive Yankee in the late 1700s came up with an idea. Why not add fingers behind the blade of the scythe? This allowed one to windrow the cut grain, thus making it easier to gather the grain into bundles for shocking. Now, a farmer could cut and gather twice as much grain than with just the scythe. Of course, inventions didn't stop with the cradle scythe. Soon the reaper with horses replaced the scythe. Then the binder was invented. Now this machine would cut the grain and also bundle it and tie the bundles together. The grain would still have to be put into a separator or a threshing machine to separate the grain from the straw. The pull-type combines were later developed that would do all of the necessary functions of cutting and separating the grain. And today, most all combines are precision, self-propelled machines that gather our grain for harvest.